On the wings of this infinite awake mind within us, we realize that we are integrated in perfect harmony, indivisibly, with every point in space and time. Through gently, subtly, using the free will given to us by the Creator, in accordance with the divine will, all things are possible and all life is benefited. Humbly turning to this unbounded being, we may then awaken to a distant point in space or time and perceive what is happening in that place and in that time. And so it is that perchance we may fall asleep one night and perceive what will happen the next day, or the next year, or the next century, because folded within us is all time and all space. The nature of the mind within us is omnipresent, and is present within every point of creation and at every point in time and space. Thus we see the entirety of the universe is open to us, because the most great mind, the single awake being, is standing within all of us. And this infinite ocean of awakeness, which can never be divided, is that whereby we are simply awake. It is there whereby we are always conscious. And if we become silent and still, we may perceive this silent mind, and we may meditate upon the truth, and we may see any point in space, and we may ask any question and know the answer. And so it is that we, meaning all advanced intelligent beings, have the capacity to be at one with the unbounded being, and to use our free will to discern the divine will, and to put ourselves at service to the divine plan. And this is the apex of the achievement of our being. As we sit upon the earth, we are called to answer the needs of this time and place, even though we see that we are established in this eternal home and this infinite space. And from this deep and abiding conscious being, on the wings of this infinite awareness, we rise into the sky above us, and we are all one in spirit, and this spirit is indivisible. And in this beautiful infinite mind, we see the earth herself, submerged in the infinity of space. And earth is an awake being herself. We see this awake being, and we feel at one with her as her children, and yet in perfect oneness with the awakeness whereby she has her own existence. As we gaze around the earth, we see the space of our solar system, and we see the earth's sisters and brothers, the other planets, and Father, Son. And we see the space around us is filled with infinite light and energy, and that it is not empty, but full, and it is not dead space, but it is awake mind. We see that the entirety of space is conscious, and on the wings of that awakeness, the same awake mind folded within us, we soar through the infinity of space, and we behold a myriad worlds, and we see the entire spiral galaxy of the Milky Way. And expanding further, we go into intergalactic space, and we see billions of galaxies, infinite worlds stretching out beyond us, within us. And the fullness of that unbounded space is that vast ocean of mind within each of us. We are always one with this cosmic being, and we are always awake through the cosmic mind. And at will we may then travel throughout the cosmos and gaze upon every world and see every star system. Being in this state of cosmic consciousness, we see beyond the infinite conscious material universe and see the infinite astral worlds of light within them. And beyond, we see the perfect idea form and sound sustaining the forms of light and the infinite material cosmos. And we are one with the Creator, and we are one with creation. And in this state, we see that the Creator and the creation are one, and that within us, we are always one with it. Being in this state of unity, we ask the celestial realm, the angelic beings, the manifestations of God, and every conscious and enlightened being in the cosmos to join us as we gaze upon the earth, and we invite them here. As we see the earth at this time, we see that it is emerging into a time of enlightenment, and we ask the infinite God, as all of us focus on the earth, to transform every dark thought into enlightenment, and to send into every selfish heart the infinite love of the divine, and that wherever there is hatred, that it be replaced with affection and love, and wherever there is greed and selfishness, that it be replaced with altruism and generosity. Those forces on earth that we see wandering in the ignorance of hatred and greed, we see being illumined with the light of knowledge and love and peace. Within the heart of the reality of earth and her people, we see a beautiful golden light dawning, and we see the earth transformed into a rose garden of peace. As she goes forward from this point, earth becomes one of the diadems of creation, one of the genuine repositories of peace and knowledge in the cosmos. In this state of peace, all peoples turn to the earth and are filled with joy because the time of the fulfillment of the promise of humanity has arrived, and we are here to witness that time and to usher in that reality. We see ourselves joined by beings, celestial, astral, and extraterrestrial, and all the good people on earth joining with us in the exercise of our will, wedded to the divine being, as we manifest that time of enlightenment and an unbroken period of thousands of years of peace. Sitting quietly now, we see that we are joined by the angelic realm, the celestial beings, the astral worlds filled with our ancestors, and with the beings from diverse worlds. And we see that there are extraterrestrial peoples joining us, and that there are people on this planet who are joining us in this conscious thought and prayer. And we hold within us this thought and this vision of suffusing the earth in the golden light as it is brought in to this time of peace, and all the wars will be silenced, and all the suffering will end. Injustice will give way to justice, and poverty to abundance, and from destruction we will go into a time of beautiful and perfect architecture and a perfect and enlightened social order. As we see this within us, we now are certain that it will come to pass. We see that we are joined by worlds infinite and divine, as well as material and extraterrestrial. The time has arrived for the old and corrupt ways to end, and for the old order to be rolled up, and for a new world to be unfurled, the hallmark of which will be oneness, peace, and unbroken enlightenment for thousands of generations of children on the earth.